Part of data visualization series, we're going to learn circular waffle chart. Amazing chart. All you need to do is that you need to remember this tiny 10 step. With the help of that, you will be able to create dynamically like this. For example, let's say if I give a random functions every time, the value will keep changing it, and you can see this is automatically getting updated, right? How to create even let's say this is in the order. For example, 82, you can see that 82 is smileys. That is smileys. We can say a building is occupied, and maybe the other color we can represent as yet to occupy, or anything you can represent using this value. This is one way. Or if you would like to have a random one, for example, let's say all these smileys should be random, then you can also do that. For example, let's say I'm just creating random functions just to indicate that how, for example, seven randoms are there, and then and every time when you change it, automatically the value is getting changed, right? And how to do that? Very simple and very interesting. So let's go into the details. So first thing, what you need to do is that you need X and Y axis. For example, serial number, we can take it directly from here. The first step, let's see, copy paste the X and Y. So I have given the source detail here. I'll keep in the descriptions. When you click this link, you'll be able to navigate to this link. And all you have to do is that you have to go to coordinates. In the coordinates, what you can do is that you can just say, you can just give control A, right? So control A basically will select all, control C, and then come back, and then you can write it in the Excel. You can paste it in the Excel. So let's say this. So now the problem is that all values have been pasted in column A, right? We need to delimit and make it as 3. How to do? So very simple. Go to data, select the data, go to data, and then you have a text to column, right? So select it, delimit. So we're going to delimit with this one, and space is great. And then you can give others. We don't need, maybe you can see others, give OK, and give finish. So now the same value has been converted into 3 columns. Maybe we can give a name. So this we can give serial number. This is X, and this is Y coordinates, right? So these two values, these 3 values are has been found. The next step, what you need to do is that we can call it as help1 and then help2. These two are important, right? So with the help of this value, for example, you can see here, with the help of this value, we can just directly get it. So before that, we need values, right? Values, for example, in number, and values in percentage, right? So for example, let's say if I give 10% example, so we can just take it from here times 100. So that means 10, right? We're going to link it here. So what is the formula is that very simple formula. If this value, that is A2, whatever the values are there in A2, let me just quickly explain that formula, then we can do it there. So if A2 formula, if A2, this is A2 serial number, is equal to this value, what we have given as a value there, KS1, right? So if these values are equal to, then we can say yes, 1, or if not, not applicable, right? This is one formula we are going to give that. So the formula is if A2, so let me just quickly check it. So if A2 less than or equal to, okay, if A2 less than or equal to this value, this is going to be dynamic. Every time it will change. So I'm going to give F4. If it is so, you can say 1. If not, you can say not applicable, and then open and close bracket, you can say here. So now if you drag it, so for 100, we have given that. You see that. So wherever, for example, 10%, so only 10 values are being given, right? For example, if you give 1 example, right? You see only 1 is being given, 2, only 2, right? So automatically, with the help of this, we are highlighting the values alone, right? This is one value is being done. Next value, what we need to do is that similarly, we can just give, if this value, if this value is found to be 1, then we can take the value from D, that is Y axis, right? Okay, if this value, because it is horizontal, so if this value equal to 1, then we're gonna say 1. If not, not applicable, we can say. Okay, so let's check again here. If this value equal to, and now we are going to return the value what is there in D2, right? So, okay, if we can add a value, we're going to return this value, right? So this value is also be always dynamically changing it. So instead of 1, we can return this value. And now this is done. For example, let's test it. 3 values, 4 values. Let's say 10 values, right? Say 12 values. This is working great. Okay, now with the help of X and Y, when you say X and Y, we can create the scatter diagram, right? So go to this and go to scatter, very first chart. Now the scatter diagram is ready. So we don't need a y-axis, y, and x and y you need to give as -1 to +1, right? -1 to +1. This is already there. This also -1 to +1, -1 to +1, right? So -1 to +1, maybe we can keep the same axis, maybe measure as 0.2, same like above, so that it will look proportion. So I'm going to delete this value, and now we don't need this grid, we don't need this grid. Now almost this circular is ready now, right? And now what we are going to do is that we are going to take the shape, right? For example, let's say this is a y value. I'm going to take it and copy this value and paste it here. You can see that so 10 values been pasted, right? So this is important step. Now the dot, we're going to change this one, right? How to change it? Let's a couple of shape we can take it, or icon we can take it. Go to insert and go to shape. Let me take this smiley symbol as an example. Okay, I'm going to make it very small, and here I'm going to fill that with the green, and shape outline is going to be white, and this is great. Okay, similarly Control D I will give. I will create yet another, and now yet to occupy, maybe I can give gray or any other color of your choice. Let's say I'm just giving gray. Okay, now these two is created. Now what we can do, Control C of this, and then go to this dot, that orange dot, Control V. This has been created, right? Again, if you just do it, since we are talking about 100, so it is. So now this is done. Okay. So once maybe we can just give access. Let me check that access. Okay. Now this has been done. So once it is been done, every time when you change the value, for example, it's at 20 smileys will come, right? And every time whenever you change the value, automatically everything will come. So this is being done. The rest of the thing we can just copy and paste it here. And now this has also been done. So you see here, now it looks slightly great. And what I will do, I will just remove this one. Okay, now I have just done that. I'll keep this edges, keep it short so that I can fit to this Excel, the very Excel, and slightly smaller. And maybe I will try to increase here. I will just keep the icons here, or we can delete that icons. We don't need that because we have already taken the reference. So, okay, now this has been done. So a couple of things we can do. We can just change that into make it circular just to indicate. So what you can do, you can go to this insert, and let's say you want this. Okay, take this circular and draw up that. If you wanted to indicate that this is a circular, you can just do it. And all you need to do is that you need to shape fill, give no. And if you wanted to keep the dot, you can keep the dot, all that various options you have. Or if you wanted to keep this, let's say I'm just keeping a dot, so it will look good. Yeah. So now we don't need that the fill, no line. This is again no fill, no line. Yeah. So no fill and no line. This is great. So now if every time when I change the value, for example, let's say rand function, I'm giving it 62 smileys, and then every time I'm just making a slightly change here. You can see here. Okay, let me just right click, do a formatting, no fill, no line. Okay, it has come well now. Okay. So every time when I change this one, maybe slightly I'll make it bigger. Okay, great. So every time when I make the changes, right? So dynamically this is getting updated. Now this is getting updated. Let's say we have 50, only 50, half of the circle has been filled. The half of the circle is unoccupied, right? Let's say if you want to create this one as a random, all you need to do is that I'm just creating a new copy, one more copy. And here I can just introduce a column, and here I can say rand functions, rand. Okay, it will return the value between 0 to 1. And now it is 100 is there, and all I can go is do is just select these two column, go to insert, and I'm sorry, go home, and then sort, custom sort, and then run functions small to big, right? So every time it will dynamically get changed. For example, if I give 10, so 10 smileys will be in different section, right? So let's say two, I mean three examples, right? One is here, one is here, one is here, right? So randomly also you can create, and this is how you can create the beautiful waffle chart. Whether you need it non-circular or you need it circular, you can easily do it. Remember the 10 step: first copy paste from the source, then do a delimit, get the 3 column like this, and then what you can do, you can create values and percentage and create a scatter diagram and help one. This is the formula you're going to substitute these two formula. I'll keep this in the description, and copy paste the values and shape and icons or any image you can take it, but very easy to do it in shape or icon. If you need the random, and for example, this shape, if you wanted to change it, let's say you would like to change the shape, you can still do it. For all you need to do is that, let's say you don't need this shape, and let's say you want some other shape, absolutely you can do it. For example, let's say you would like to have like a star example, right? So you can absolutely do it. Let's say I'm just giving once again green, and outline must be white, and then I'm just giving control D so that it will come up again. And then here this time I'm gonna give this one. You see, copy, and then you will be able to change quickly, very quickly you will be able to change, right? And copy, and quickly you'll be able to change, right? For example, let's say I'm just copying this value, pasting it here, it will automatically will change. So any of this value, you can easily do it. So of course, when you change the random functions, automatically this value also will be keep getting changed, right? Similarly, this is, we are talking about the shapes. And I have a lower version of Excel, so I don't have the icons. Even if you have an icons, you can replace with icon also as well, right? So let me take any other example. So let's say, let me take this as an, the older example was good. And let's say if you need to have like this chart or like a marking chart, still you can have it. So maybe what I will do, I will just give green, and shape fill is very white. And then you can just keep it here. I'm just trying to give different colors. And now what I will do, I will just use dark gray, and you copy this one and paste it here. It will change, right? And then copy this one, paste it here. This will change, right? So any of the values, you will be able to do it very, very easily. I hope you find it useful. Please do like, share, subscribe my channel. You have wonderful day ahead.